And so tonight's focus, legs, feet, knees. So let's come up into standing and see what is going on with the locomotors. And we'll do our first couple of movements standing too. Go ahead and walk around a little bit. And as you walk, and you may not be able to get enough momentum going in your space, listen for your feet as they hit the floor. Is it sort of a slapper? And is one side louder than the other? So these are things that you can listen, and that can sometimes give us an indication of things being a little off before we even notice it, because we are landing differently on one side compared to the other. So these locomotors, when you are walking, are you striking evenly? Or is the pain or discomfort on one side, which again will change what our gait sounds like and what it feels like? Feet, ankles, knees. And then I invite you to come into a standstill. And as you stand in your posture, so not a rigid yoga posture, what is your signature stance? Where is the pressure under the bottom of the feet? Do you have more weight on one foot, first of all? So if you were standing in wet sand, would one foot make a deeper impression? Does the feet roll out, roll in? Do you have more weight forward on the foot or towards the heel? What about the ankles? How do they feel? Do you feel like the tibia and the fibula, the shin bones, are they sort of leaning forward on the ankle, or do they sit straight up out of the ankle joint? So if we are more weight forward in our feet, we kind of shear the ankle diaphragm. And that can really change, not in a good way, how our gait and also ankle mobility. So a sense of a lift. We'll go to the knees. Notice the knees. And you can look at them. Are the knees pointing straight forward? Sometimes we'll have a rotation where the knees are straight forward, but the foot actually needs to turn out to the side to maintain this. So I know I say it a lot that the center of the knee points over the second toe, but if there is a rotation of the lower leg, knees are king, and they turn straight forward. And we'll orient everything else around that. One knee may be wanting to hyperextend, the other doesn't. So there can be a lot of stuff going on above too that's causing this. So just notice the hips as well. What's going on in the hips? If there's a bum hip, we're going to be more likely to lean to the other side and again take the more weight. We're going to meander all the way up to the top of the head, and just notice again, am I drifting forward or back? The calves and hamstrings are a huge part of our structural integrity. It is, you call it a core muscle. It keeps them standing upright, so they can get a little bit out of shape. So let's just tend to the calves first. You're going to go to a wall, and you're going to stand in front of a wall and far enough out where there's a little bit of a lead, but the heels are down without a ginormous stretch on the calf muscles. So with the hands on the wall, I'll aim the camera up so you can see me a little bit better. The hands will be resting about shoulder height on the wall. It's like a lazy wall plank. Feet pointing straight forward. And then lift the heels up. So put on those crazy high stilettos. Feel the contraction of the calves. And then slowly release from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Let's take toes towards one another, heels out to the side, so shy feet. And again, as you inhale, lifting the heels. And notice how that changed the muscles that contracted. From 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Everything pauses. And we'll turn the feet out. Charlie Chaplin's feet, heels close together, tailbone towards the heels, and lifting again. Lifting as high as is comfortable. And slowly release. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. We're going to orient the feet back towards neutral. So straight forward, at least the knees. And when you're ready, lifting the heels. And from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And then coming to standing again. Walk around just a circle or two before you walk to your mat and come onto your mat. But just notice, did the gait change? Did the gait change at all? Did the sensation in the calves change from this adjustment? We'll orient down again. So I have the entire mat covered. And so the rest of the practice is supine. Well, I'm prone, but on the mat. So I invite you to come in for the supine assessment. Letting everything cool. Notice the sensation. Thank you. If you can't see yourself in your screen, then I can't see you either. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and bend up. No, we're not going to bend up. We're going to bend. Start with the heel pushes because we can. So we're going to press up through the right heel. And then let that go. And left heel. So just the heels for now. Feeling how that movement translates up your body. Let's do it again. Right heel presses away from your body. So dorsal flexion of the ankle. And then letting it go. Other side. One more time. So this is needed for that heel strike and when we take a step. And then I think we're ready to begin to take the hip down with the leg. So as you press up through the right heel, let the right hip slide down with the heel. And then we let that go. And then the left. So even though we talk about body parts, ankles, and knees, hips, everything connects. So what happens in one happens in the other. So as you just gently slide the heels from side to side, from not side to side, down, and take the whole pelvis girdle with you. And you can place your hands on the front of your pelvis, the ASISs, anterior supine iliac crest, so the bony bumps. A little bit below and out to the side from the belly button. And you can feel they are moving with the legs. Getting the QLs on board, quadratus lumborum, and the inner obliques. Helpful to get that leg swing going when you walk, and you feel this is like going for a walk on your back. After the next one or two, just let it go. Let it go and pause. Notice any sensations. Notice the imprint of your body. And now let's go ahead and bend up the knees. And as you inhale, flat. Did I say flat? I meant clearly arching. And we're going to go right into it. You are seasoned practitioner as you exhale, floating back to neutral. Take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, flattening the low back. Flattening the low back. Feel the hollowing out of the abdomen. And slowly release to neutral. Let's take a full breath in and out. So breath for breath before we do the whole sequence again. So when you're ready, gently arch the low back. And notice, are you rolling straight down on the sacrum? Or are you sort of drifting off to the side? That could affect the legs. And slowly come back to center. Breath in for nothing. And exhale. Flatten. And we're released to neutral. Slowly, deliberately, and take a powerful breath again. And repeat. Arching on the in-breath. And slowly float to neutral. And the breath in for nothing. And exhale. Draw the abdomen in and up. Notice the action of the tailbone drawing upwards. So we're going to do it one more time. And this one, I want you to focus a little bit more on that. We'll do the arch first. When you're ready on the in-breath, muscles contract. And now as you exhale, let the heels dig down a little bit more forceful. Draw the tailbone up a little bit more forceful. So there's a mula bandha action. And the root chakra, which is what governs the actions of the legs, of the feet. So this connection from pelvis and down, maintaining in this way. All right, let's do that just one more time. This one, I'm not going to cue, just let you explore and experience it. And then go ahead and just slide the legs up. Pause. Pause and pull. And then we'll go ahead and bend the knees up again. Now we'll start with just a little bit of footwork. I don't think we haven't done this one in a while. I like it. Then begin to slide one leg out. And when the front of the foot begins to lift up, go ahead and flex the ankle. And then curl the toes down towards the bottom of the foot, and then lower the foot down, lower the foot down. You're gonna get a strong action in the calf. Let the toes spread out along the rug or blanket, slide the foot back in, and then lift the heel and lower the heel. So that was one movement. Let's do that again. Same leg, slide the foot out. And when the front of the foot wants to lift up, just go ahead and flex the whole ankle. Curl the toes down like a toe fist, and then lower the bottom of the foot back towards the floor. Slide the foot in, toe releases, and lift the heel, and lower the heel. We'll continue. Slide the foot out as far as you can get without lifting the toes. Then flex the ankle, curling the toes down, lower the foot back, and slide it in. Lift the heel, lower the heel. Let's do that one more time. Sliding out, giving your brain a lot of foot information. Flex, and then curling the toe. Really give them a foot fist if there is such a thing. Lowering the bottom of the foot down. And slide in. Then lift the heel. And lower the heel. And now go ahead and just slide both legs out. And pause. Toggle your awareness from the leg that just did the work, the foot that did the work. What does that look like in your brain? What does that feel like compared to the leg that has yet to enjoy this sequence? So let's go ahead and we'll bend both knees up. And we're ready to go on the other side. Take your time, move at your own pace if you like, or follow along, sliding the leg out. Flex the ankle. Curling the toes down and lowering. Bottom of the foot. And we slide in. Heel lift. And lowering. So no hurry. Move as slowly as you can, comfortably. Sliding out, flexing the ankle, and then curling the toes under and lowering the foot down. Let the toes begin to spread out as you slide the foot back in. And lift the heel, lower the heel. Again, sliding, flex, curl the toes under, and lowering down. Sliding back in, and lift. Slowly lower. One more time. Sliding out. Flex. Or curl. Lowering down. And we find our way back in again. And then let's everything relax and cool. Pause. Placing your legs in a way that's comfortable for you. Neuropathy of the feet and also difficult for wound healing. It seems to correlate too with birthday candles. And one of the ponderings is there's just a lot less awareness, a lot less movement often. So simple things like these. There's two things. The motor cortex keeps having the awareness of our feet and legs, but also we are increasing blood circulation to the tissue, and we support healing of these body parts. And now our next one, I've got my long-eyed glasses on. We're going to go ahead and bend up the knees. We'll take the arms out to the sides, cactus arms if that is available. And then we'll repeat the arcs and flatten. We'll do that just a couple of times. We're going to move faster than when we started. We'll let each breath part do the movement. So from the inhalation, we arch. And we exhale and we go right into the flattening. And inhale, arch. And as you arch, lift the heels. And let the chin jut up towards the sky. Exhale, dig the heels in. Here's the tailbone action. As you flatten and draw the chin towards the chest. So the whole seam, front and back, are doing the same. Frontal seam and prone. That's not what it's called, posterior. So moving at a pace, move in a way that feels good for you. So as you dig the heels and flatten the back, the chin will come more towards the chest. And as you inhale and arch, heels comes up, chin comes up. So lumbar spine, Achilles Tendons, the ankles, and also the cervical spine are all moving in the same direction. And when we ground with the heels, the tailbone, and the chin, the whole front seam is contracted. Back and forth. Back and forth. One more time. And then after this one, we're going to let go. And then to get a little bit of quadricep movement in here before we do it more on the other side. I'm going to just slide the right leg all the way out, sliding it, not lifting, press out through the heel again. Feel the quadriceps engaging, kneecap firm, and then let go completely. Relaxing the leg. Take a breath in and out. And we'll slide the leg back up. And we're going to do this on the other side. Slide the leg out. Press out through the heel. Firm quadricep. And let go. Letting go. And slide the leg back up. One more time. Sliding first leg out. For the quadricep, their job is to straighten the knee. So as you draw the back of the knee towards the floor, feel that strong contraction, and then let that go. Take the leg back in. If the hamstring begins to shorten, which it does if we sit down a lot, and the quadricep doesn't get to engage fully, then we begin to maybe experience some really interesting back and hip and knee thingy. So here we're just getting the quadricep back on board, press the back of the knee towards the floor, but keep the heel down so you're not hyperextending the knee. And then you let go. Letting go. So the contraction of the quadriceps supports the release and lengthening of the hamstring. From here, we're going to take the hands behind the head. Interlace the hands behind the head. So both legs are bent up. And then slide the upper body towards one side. And back to center. Inhaling the other side, like a great big pendulum. And exhale back to center. We're going to go from side to side. Inhaling to the side. And return to center. Great way to open the lungs, the whole rib cage. You're moving gently from side to side. Head stay down. Now you might like to turn the head and look towards the top elbow. You may like to keep your head pointing straight up. It is whatever feels good. Notice if you're bracing a movement. So just let the body parts move like seaweeds. And if you would like to pause in the side bend and take an extra breath into that side, by all means, be my guest. From side to side. Again, don't lift the head, it's just sliding in the palms of the hands. And then next time you come back to center, let's take the right leg out long. Take the right leg out long. And now we're going to press out through the right heel as we did at the very beginning. We're going to take the hip down and then let that go. So just the right leg and hip. Now I invite you to draw the left hip up to feel the contraction in the left hip to facilitate the lengthening of the right leg. The right leg slides out, the hip slides down. When you're facilitating it by also contracting on the left waist to draw the hip, the left hip up. One hip goes down, the other must go up. So we got it. Now let's add the upper body. As the right heel and hip slides out, the right elbow is going to slide in the opposite direction. And release back to neutral. Everything comes back home. Lengthening out through the heel and the hip, and the elbow goes opposite. So lengthening the entire right side of your body. So the lateral seam directly affects hips and knees and ankles if there's an imbalance in the pull. So moving, lazy, pausing at any place you would like to. Make it enjoyable, not hard or irritating. One more. As you come back to center, just let your arms take a break. Slide the other leg out and pause. Notice any changes. If it is uncomfortable to have the hands interlaced behind the head, have the arms out in goalpost arms instead, and then extending the arm overhead. We're still going to get the whole side bend going. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bend up. The right leg will stay up bent, and then either interlace the fingers behind the head or just have the arms out to goalpost arms if that feels better on your shoulders. So we started by pressing up through. Now the left heel and leg draws down. Feel that extension. And then explore what happens if you contract the right waist, draw the right hip up as you extend out through the left heel and hip. And then from here, let's go ahead and add the side slide in. Left elbow slides back away from heel and hip. Inhaling, slide, lengthen, and exhale, back home again. Let the head travel along, whether it stays with the nose pointing straight up or it rolls in the hands. Whatever feels better on your body. Gentle and easy. And then after the next one, as you come back to center, I invite you just to let go, arms out, legs out. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's go ahead and bend out the left leg again. So eversion and inversion is a really cool ability of the ankle. Inversion, dial the bottom of the foot towards the midline. So this is also supination. And then let that go. Let that action release. Take a breath in and out. And repeat. Dial the bottom of the foot towards the midline and then let it relax back to neutral. Let's do that one more time. And we'll leave that be. And we'll move to eversion, the pronation. So now dial the bottom of the foot out. You're trying to get the big toe out to look to the side. And then we let that go. This ankle mobility, when we step on an uneven surface, can our ankle joint negotiate this so that we don't topple over? Slowly release. And do that one more time. Dial to the outside, away from the midline. And then release. So you may find that that was a smaller movement than turning inward or vice versa. Let's take the left leg out. toggle your mind side to side. And we'll go ahead and bend up the other leg. And this is just to let the pelvis rest more evenly. For you, it may be fine to leave both legs straight. They can torque across the sacrum. Now let's turn the foot in. So inversion first. Dial the bottom of the foot towards midline and release. Letting go. And if you find that your leg is cramping up, move at a little less intensity. So a little less intensity. Cramping is the body saying, I don't know that was a good idea. And then let go. We're going to do that one more time. Dialing the bottom of the foot towards the midline and letting it go. And dial it now, pronation. Dial the foot out. And release. Again, cramping. And I'm certainly getting a visitor here, so too much. My leg is saying. So a little less, a little less. Let's do it one more time. And we let go. Slide both legs out. And let's come over onto one side. We are going to do both. So whichever side is most comfortable, and you'll support your head on your arm. We'll take the knees up into our 90-degree angle. We're going to save our side curl for next week when we are working more on the hips, but the iliotibia band does cross over the knee joint. So if there's any stickiness around the hip, that will be felt. So I'm going to take my top leg straight out. And the bottom leg just supports it. So the bottom leg is so it's not laying awkwardly. Now this is a big lever. Take your hand onto the outer hip. You're going to feel some stuff. Gluteus medius and the little tensor fascia lata is going to have to do the work here. As you inhale, lift the top leg up. It may be in your mind, it may be 6-ish inches, not a big lift. And let's take it down slowly from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Did you feel the contraction of your outer hip? Did you use your bottom hip to help out too? We'll do it one more time. On your in-breath, lifting. Not a big lift. Don't overstay the welcome. From 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And let's bend that up, do a little pit stop on the back, and notice sensations. Let your motor cortex have just a moment to recognize what changed. And we're going to go ahead and roll on to the other side. So bending again, the knees up at 90, 90, straight back, and then take the top leg straight up. Again, and I like to take my hand to my outer hip because that way, if I don't feel any contractions here, how the heck am I getting the leg up? Those are the muscles that are intended to do the job. Let's take a breath in and contract and lift. And again, you may do the contraction, but not putting a load on from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Buffer breath. One more time. When you're ready, inhale, contract, and let that be the lever. So lift from the hip, not the foot. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And let's come all the way onto the abdomen. And as you come to rest on the front portion of your body, stacking one hand on top of the other, let your head just rest in a way that's comfortable. It may be turned to one side. It may be the forehead on the back of the hands. It may be something else entirely, so that there's no strain in your neck. Hamstrings. Bending your right leg up. Take the heel to the tush. Feel the contraction of the hamstring. We're going to count that one down from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All the way down. Can you tell what part of the hamstring works, what part of the knee flexion? We are going to turn the foot out slightly, so the right leg still. And then we're going to go ahead and bend the knee up again. So accessing now the medial hamstring. Up from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep both hips pressing down evenly. 3, 2, 1, and done. And then we're going to roll the foot in. So the lower leg rotates, but stay as best as you can centered on the hamstring. So we have this ability to have a little bit of rotation across the knee. The one we are working right now here too, in addition to the lateral hamstring. So if you bend up the leg lateral outside, is also the glorious sartorius. And let's release from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. We're going to bookend this by coming straight up again. So heel to the tush. Hamstring contracts. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and letting go, letting go. Strengthening and lengthening. It's a beautiful thing, eccentric work. We should get going on the other side. Let's bend the heel straight to the tush of the leg. Give it a good squeeze, feel the hamstring contracting. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. So notice those bumps and jitters in the release. There's some holding patterns. Let's turn the toes out. So a rotation more of the lower leg. Bend up the knee. And how does that feel different? 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Letting go. And spin the lower leg opposite direction. Heel out, toes in, but staying centered-ish on your thigh. Bending up, bending the leg. So the knee, the foot may travel a little bit across the other thigh. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Everything cools. And go ahead and tuck the toes under. And creep the toes towards the nose. And press the heels back. So we're not going to lift the upper body quite yet. Just press the heels back. Quads engaged. Tailbone towards the heels. And let go. Letting go. And we'll do that again. But this time, we're going to lift up. So slide the elbows a little closer together. So you can hug the elbows in. And then inhale, press the heels back. And then lift, lengthen from the lower abdomen up towards the chest. So the whole front seam. Quads, check. And we're going to lower down. Let everything go. And then we're going to slide the upper body to the right side, sliding to the right. And then tuck the left toes under, just the left. And then inhale, press the left heel back and then lift up. A little back bend here. Sacrum and pelvis stays neutral. Breathe, 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 lift, lift, press back, and we let go. I'm going to slide to the other side. And this time, take the right foot under. So we've slid to the left, right toes touch under, elbows together-ish, whatever feels comfortable for your shoulders and upper back. And inhale, press the heel back and then lifting up into this crescent shape. Breathe. And coming down. And then back to center. We're going to bookend this by pressing both heels back. Meaning tucking both feet under and press both heels back. And then lifting up. Everything hugs towards the midline. Firm legs. And lowering down. Let's extend one arm forward overhead and help us roll onto our back. As you rest on your back body, after almost an hour of tinkering and tucking, contracting and releasing, sensing this physical shape of yours, the bones, the skin, the nerve communication. Gentle pulsation. The aliveness. Then let's draw the legs together. Interlace the fingers for full body stretch. Lengthening out through heels and hands. The hands don't have to be interlaced. It can also be a straight stretch if that feels better on shoulders. Hands don't have to come to the floor. And we'll take the arms down alongside the body. And bend up the knees. And take your time. Rocking the knees gently from side to side. We're gonna roll over onto one side. Pause. Gentle, quiet work. That's how we heal. That's how we create lasting change. Using the arms and hands to press up into a comfortable seated posture. So once we conclude, I will turn off the recording, but I invite you to return to where we started by walking around and feel your body as you stand too. But we will bring our palms together. And then invoke Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Hi Om, praying for peace in our world, in our communities, and within ourselves. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. And may it be so. Namaste.